Okay, here I am, 15 days after ending my last juice fast, which was my June juice fast. We're in July now, praise the Lord. It's July 2nd today, 2 days to the 4th of July, 2020. And I looked on my calendar and I saw that I had scheduled a YouTube check-in for 15 days of eating. And I just wanted to get on here and report my findings, my experience, strength, and hope. And I was doing really well in the beginning. One of the main things that I've been including is sushi, homemade sushi. I got a nice sushi maker, which makes a real nice, even sushi. I have it in the refrigerator right now. I have one in the refrigerator right now, chilling, because it seems to cut better when it's chilled. And I'm going to have it with my ginger and my wasabi, hot wasabi, and soy sauce. And that has been a really great addition because it's filling, but it's not especially fattening. The only thing that's really fattening at all is the avocado and maybe rice, white rice. But it's just fine. I also made a nice lentil loaf. I've been eating that. But my downfall has been I've got red potatoes, boiled them up, and I'm having mashed potatoes with, I actually even had butter in the house from a pie that I made for somebody. I bring the butter in the house and it ends up, I end up ingesting it. That nice Irish butter that I love so well. But I also had some vegetable spread in that. I've been putting on my potatoes and finally got rid of the soy heavy cream. Yeah, very good stuff. But I refrained from buying more because I will be going back on the July juice fast probably in about 10 days. It would be 5 days, or no, not, yeah, 5 days, because that would be 20 days after the end of the last juice fast. But I'm beginning my project, which will probably last about 8 days to completion, and then I'm going to give myself 2 days to kind of, prepare myself for the fast. So we're talking 10 days from now. Today's the 2nd, so probably the 22nd of July. I will begin another 10-day juice fast, which, is great because one of the things about eating that I want to report is that, after about 10 days, I made a delicious chocolate cake, which is frozen in the fridge in little bite-sized pieces, and I have at least one or two of those a day. And apparently that, is enough with, eating mashed potatoes with butter and, other little tasties to have added another 3 pounds since I was kind of resting at 125 and I finally got on the scale yesterday and I was 120. Was it yesterday? Let me check. Might have been the day before. Huh. It was yesterday. It was 128.2. So, that's basically where I was before I started the juice fast. But once again, if I hadn't done the juice fast, I'd be 3 pounds heavier than that. So, it's progress, not perfection. And once I get back to eating, it just kind of ramps up. And that's been my experience. The other thing, realization that I had during this eating phase is that my tendency to see eating as an action as opposed to something I do when I'm hungry, especially fun food or food that I've cooked and I have in the fridge. It's like, well, what will I do? Well, I'll eat, and I think that the French, or historically maybe 100 years ago, people didn't just go to the fridge and eat, and the French are very down on that as an action. When one eats, one does it purposefully and theoretically, culturally, the cultural norm. But my habit has been to just eat when I just kind of am rudderless. I have a little pause in the action. Oh, a little treat, a little something I can do just to do it. And you know, um, just those extra meals. Like, I have a time recording system, and I might have lunch twice on my schedule. Like I have an early lunch and a late lunch. One of those is not necessary, but I find that the more that I am in action, as opposed to inaction, not inaction, the less that I'm thinking about food. And if I'm not thinking about food, if I am engaged in, some attention fulfilling activity, I'm not thinking about what am I going to do because I'm doing something. So, constantly moving into more action, more purposeful action, less pauses in the action that, can be filled with food. You know, that's a goal. But the juice fasting tends to work. It does work, and it's kind of I don't really have to think about it very much. Will this work? Well, it does work, and I don't have to do it perfectly. I know that the overeating I've gotten involved with is predictable, and I can ameliorate the situation by getting back on the juice fast. And I was talking to somebody who's in another overeating program, and she was saying, "Oh, if you need any coaching on this, let me know." I said, "Yeah, well, I have problem with eating, which huge percentage of the population has, whether they address it or not." And I said, "Well, I have a system that really works." And for me, it's really about a system. Always kind of coming back to the system, the actions that will get the results that I'm looking for. I haven't been exercising, which is not great. I feel that I don't really have the time to exercise, but that's not really it. I mean, I could add, a nice 20-minute YouTube exercise program. I've been doing my yoga, but not a lot of aerobic exercise, and that, that tends to keep the body and the metabolism low and the mind thinking about eating, as opposed to that nice calm that I get after vigorous or rigorous exercise. Not to mention the calories it burns. So that's it. That's really all I want to share here on my reflections on having eaten for 15 days. I will probably do a video the day before I begin the juice fast, just kind of to check in as to where I'm at, talk about, my what I hope to achieve, and kind of getting my resolve up. So that's it. That's all I have to share on July 2nd, 2020.